from all of you, this takes a little longer. Just letting you know so then you can plan accordingly that we are going to take 2 hours today instead of the usual hour and a half. Because in Bombay, it's not even going below 25. So I just wonder, is it really cold up there in Bihar? A very, very good morning, Ritik Raj and Ratan Priya Raj. Very, very good morning to you. It is 8:30 by my watch. So let's begin. So once again, बंधुओं, भगिनियों और देवियों सज्जनों, welcome to session 6B. My name is Yash and I am your Matra mentor for today, which is the last and final online classroom training session in Matra Super Plus program. It's been a very, very good journey and experience for me in the last 6 weeks, and I am going to miss this regular routine. I hope somewhere you all are going to miss these sessions as well as me as well. So with mixed feelings, but with excitement, because we have completed all the online classroom sessions today, let's begin the very last classroom meeting, which is a little longer than the others for the next 2 hours. Now, guidelines are the same, mic and video off, notebook and pen ready. Do not use the raise hand feature in Google Meet because I will ignore you. Not because I want to, more because it's technical. Click on the same link to come back if you lose connection. I recommend that you use earphones. पूरे गांव को सुनाने की जरूरत नहीं है. It is for you to hear and for you to learn. Pin the speaker in the Google Meet room. That will keep the presentation pinned to your screen throughout the class. Tap on the last icon on the participants list. Find the Matra Super Plus icon with the name Matra YL. Tap on the 3 dots next to it to get the pin icon, and that should pin me as the speaker on your screen. You will be able to watch the videos and participate in the activities with a much better view this way. Also, please remember that this lecture is being recorded for your university. This is as per our agreement with the agreement between your university and Matra. So, with that, moving on. As always, your attendance will be marked when you submit the MCQ form with the Matra classroom code for lecture 6B. It is mentioned in the Google Meet title of this lecture. Today is the final test, so all the best for it. Please remember that you will only get your attendance for this test. For your certificate, you will have to complete the MCQ test on the website portal in week 6. You will not get your certificate for the practice MCQ or the test MCQ that we do today. And as usual, most participate. As usual, most important, listen, participate, and enjoy. Let's go for it. The last and final online classroom training session, 6B. Now, I'm not sure if you all have noticed what we're doing. In week 5 and 6, we started focusing on employment related learning and activities. We're doing the same thing here today in the online classroom. We started this in the last lecture with application letters and emails. Today, we're going to take this further. The first topic that we're going to talk about is presentations. You must all be making presentations for your projects. PowerPoint is a very common and easy tool to make presentations. They help to keep all eyes focused on the topic and can be made very interesting, like our Matra Super Plus online lectures, correct? You all like these presentations, right? So let's watch a video on some very basic presentation tips that you should keep in mind when you create your PowerPoint slides.
A presentation is an important part of showing your communication skills and clarity of thoughts. To make a good presentation, you must prepare thoroughly. Get as much information as possible on the topic. Plan the order of the content. Make a structure. In your written presentation, ensure that all facts are correct. Focus on highlights and not minute details. Make sure there are no spelling mistakes. Use good quality images which are simple and appropriate. Check, and then recheck every word that has been written. Keep it simple. Create your own theme as per the presentation. Ensure that all elements are uniform on all slides. Too many transition and animation effects can be distracting. Be careful about how you use them. While presenting, speak slowly and clearly. Do not speak without any expressions or natural gestures. Your body language must show your interest in the presentation. Look at the audience and do not read the slides. Your talking points should explain the written matter on the slides. Keep a track of the time. Avoid using standard and ready templates. Customize your own theme. Using JPEGs of your slides will ensure that no one can change them if you share your presentation. Also, if you use some other hardware, fonts, formats, etc. will not change. Multimedia should be embedded so that there is no problem in playback. Your own hardware is always a good backup. You can use your notes in the presenter's view. Practice makes you perfect. A good presentation needs a lot of work. So, make sure you put in time and effort on the matter and practice it many times before the final presentation. Do share your presentation with us on Matra's discussion boards. We would love to see you put what you have learned to use. More information in Matra's printable handout on this topic. Download it now.
You can get many ready templates to create your own slides. Choose a simple one. Keep the font simple and easy to read. Keep your sentences short, just like you can see in the video. This helps the audience to understand the matter clearly. There should be uniformity in all your slides. Notice the uniformity in all our Matra Super Plus slides. The lectures are quite easy to follow, isn't it? Please practice your presentation as many times as you can. If you like someone's presentation, be sure that that person must have practiced it again and again and again to be able to deliver it well. I had to put in work for this lecture to get it ready before bringing it to you. Everyone has to practice to make a good presentation, even if it is a subject you know very well. Now, this video has very good printable handout with a lot of details to make your presentation absolutely A1. Next thing that we're going to talk about is grooming. Let's look at another important aspect of presentation. And this time it is not about a physical PPT. We're talking about presenting oneself. We say that communication skills is the number one skill that is noticed by people, especially in the working world. Before you have got a chance to go for an interview, your written skills are judged. If you have written a good application letter along with your resume, you will get called for an interview. As soon as you walk in through the door, before you can even greet a person or the team, your grooming will be noticed. Let's watch a video on this and see why it is so important.
Your appearance at an interview is very important to your chance of success. A badly groomed person draws attention for all the wrong reasons and might not get the job in spite of being well qualified. Paying attention to details is important to get your interview started on the right track. Handshake, your clothes, hair, accessories, posture, facial expressions are a part of grooming. The first impression of a well-groomed person is always positive. You must have a firm handshake. A limp handshake gives a terrible impression. Being well-dressed does not mean expensive clothes. It means dressing neatly and appropriately. At an interview, one must dress in formal clothes. Unkempt hair can give a very shabby impression, so one must keep it neat and combed. Make sure your nails are clipped or well manicured. Individual tastes of excessive jewelry, piercings, or tattoos might affect your chances of getting the job you want. Every little detail matters. Once you are in the room, there is no chance to undo anything you might have forgotten to take care of. So be prepared in advance and do your best to get the job. For any questions, come right over to Matra's discussion boards. Matra's printable handout is full of important information available for this video.
So your handshake, your clothes, what you wear in addition, like dupatta, scarf, earring, your hair, how you stand, how you walk, how you sit, your smile, all these things are important. Some of them need practice, like your handshake. A handshake. Make sure your hands are not wet from sweat. Give a firm handshake, it should not be limp. When you give a limp handshake, we call it a dead fish. That is not the kind of handshake. It does not inspire confidence. You don't feel good. A good tip for you for if you have sweaty hands or if your hands have hands which are constantly feeling sweaty, before you go in for a handshake, very casually rub your hand against the side of your pant or against your salwar kameez or whatever it is that you're wearing. Just wipe your hand against the side of your clothing and then go in for the handshake. That way you'll be sure it's dry. Next thing is clothes. They don't need to be expensive. Clean, simple, smart, regular formal clothes are enough. Accessories. Your dupatta or scarf or bangles or earring, choose them carefully. Keep them light, keep them simple. That should not become the center of conversation or should not become the center of attention. You are the center of attention. Posture. Don't drag your feet, walk straight, be careful, don't drop things in a clumsy way. These are things about posture. And one more thing which you can see on the slide, but we'll come back to it in a minute. Now, this video also has a very good printable handout in PDF form for your reference. There are lots of tips on grooming which will help you whenever you need additional information. Please remember these important points. Be smartly dressed in comfortable clothes. There is no need to buy expensive branded clothes for an interview. Be neat and clean in your appearance and make sure your clothes don't have food stains on them. Remember the firm handshake, not too hard, but definitely not like a light touch. It should be firm and short. It should be practiced. If you're wearing a watch or a bangle or necklace, keep them light. Don't wear things you would wear to a party. And don't forget the most important thing to do: smile. It's completely free. It makes you happy and confident and makes others feel good about meeting you. And that smile brings us to the next topic, which is body language. Smiling is a part of body language. It shows your confidence and makes the atmosphere pleasant. But it is not enough because you cannot keep smiling while talking about everything. You don't want to look buddhu. Like, you know how when, acha, mere yahan pe koi mar gaya hai. You can't be smiling, no? You have to accordingly show the correct emotion. You have to express the correct expression. You can't be smiling through these things. So, which is why you're constantly, we keep saying, pay attention. You have to keep in mind good body language. So, let's watch a video on this.
Do you bite your nails? Do you touch your nose or hair unnecessarily or constantly shake your legs or move your knees against each other? The way we talk, walk, sit, and stand says something about us, as do these actions. This is called body language, and it plays a very important role in our communication, even if it is without words. So, biting nails, unnecessarily touching the nose or hair, shaking legs, are all those gestures or signs which show nervousness. The thing is that your body language is something that the other person observes even before you begin an interview. It is your second chance, as the first one is your resume. So, you must be cautious and aware, but not nervous. You should be confident and make sure you're not fidgeting, because that might show you are not sure of yourself. Confident people will always have a straight posture, make direct eye contact with everyone they speak to, have controlled gestures with hands and arms, speak slowly and clearly in a moderate volume. Keep these small tips in mind and you will appear to be confident as you should. Your questions on Matra's discussion boards will help others learn. Ask away. More information in Matra's printable handout on this topic. Download it now.
Now you know when you're told since childhood, ye mat karo, wo mat karo. Don't bite your nails, don't drag your feet while walking. These habits are difficult to drop suddenly, but we must be aware if we have them and make sure we do not do any of these things at least during an interview. Keep a straight posture. Don't shake your legs while sitting or drag your feet while walking. A smile will help keep a pleasant, confident expression. The video on body language also has a very detailed printable handout. Please do refer to it for many more tips and good information. And never forget the simple smile. It will reach your eyes, brighten your face, and it will give a pleasant expression for free. Now that you know about grooming and body language, let's see where you can put it into action. Your participation in group discussions is one such event, also known as GDs. This is a very common format to choose candidates, whether it is for admission or jobs? Let's watch a video on this.
Many companies conduct group discussions which are popularly called GDs to get an idea if the person will fit into the company culture. GDs are also conducted by many universities as a part of the selection process for post-graduation degrees to assess the outlook, personality, and communication skills of the student. Typically, a topic is given to the group. You have a few minutes to get your thoughts together and the discussion begins. Participants in a GD are normally judged on the following parameters: leadership qualities, personality, content, logical thinking, communication skills. During the discussion, you will be watched for your interactions, your presence of mind, your body language, and how you express your thoughts on the topic. So, your knowledge on the topic, posture, voice and tone, gestures and manners are what will help the moderator evaluate your performance. GDs have three main parts: introduction of participants and then opening the discussion, the discussion itself, conclusion or summary. Introduction. After all the participants introduce themselves, it is best for a person who has knowledge on the topic to open the discussion. If you know about the topic, you can begin with a popular quotation or a reference to a news article or any fact. If you do not have any information or knowledge about the topic, let someone else begin. Add to the discussion, but make sure you do not lead it at any time. The discussion should proceed with pros and cons, facts and figures, and don't forget to be polite and don't get personal. You can agree with a participant, but take care not to offend some other person who doesn't agree with this point of view. Do not allow any debates and stay away from anything that might get heated. Show your maturity and clear thinking in the way you say your part. Speak slowly and clearly so that you can be heard and understood. Give facts and figures only if you are sure of them. Conclusion or summary. Many topics do not need a conclusion at the end. You can conclude your part with the advantages or merits of the topic. You will learn more by contributing on Matra's discussion boards. Matra's printable handout has additional information available for this topic.
The printable handout for GDs have a lot of important information in detail. Since there is no way you will ever know the topic in advance, it is a good habit to read on current affairs and know what is happening in the country as well as internationally about business, politics, sports, entertainment, and other events on a regular basis. In addition to this, be comfortable in your posture, be polite, and participate as a team member with cooperation. As you can see, in all these aspects which are important for getting selected, communication skills play an important role. A smile will help you in a lot of interactions, even if it is a disagreement, so don't forget to use it whenever needed. Grooming, body language, and even group discussions all leading up to just one thing, the interview. Let's watch a video on that now.
you are ready for placements, you are ready to enter the job market. For this, you have to do a little homework. You must find out more about the job profile. If the job advertised for is not something you are interested in, please do not apply. Does it match your capabilities, skills, and education? Will there be an opportunity to learn, improve, and get better at work? The location of the job. So you must do your research about the company. Update your resume with correct facts. Keep all your certificates ready in order as mentioned in your resume. Invest in formal clothes and shoes. Have your references and reference letters ready. But please ensure that you take permission from a person before giving their name as a reference. All this information will help you to be ready for the interview with confidence. There are 4 types of interviews and each interview is conducted in a different way. But the purpose of all the interviews is the same, which is to see if your skills and qualifications fit the job profile and if your personality and outlook is best suited for this job. Phone interview. This is usually conducted by someone from the HR department. It is also a screening to see if the company would like to take the discussion further. It is a step to check the qualifications and other information on your resume and get an idea of what you expect as your salary. Since you and the caller cannot see each other, it is difficult to get an idea of the impression you have created. You can keep a few things in mind for a phone interview. Make sure you are speaking from a place where you cannot be disturbed or distracted. If you are speaking from your cell phone, make sure you are in a strong network area. Otherwise, use the landline to make sure there are no dropped calls. You should disable call waiting and other notifications which might be distracting. Speak clearly and slowly. Smiling while you speak will help your voice reflect a pleasant, happy, and positive outlook, though the other person cannot see you. Face-to-face interview. This is a typical traditional type of interview. There can be many rounds depending on how each round progresses. The purpose of this type of interview is to evaluate your knowledge and nature, and to find out if you will contribute to the company. Body language and communication skills are of great importance and gives the interviewer a clear idea of your skills and outlook. Panel interview. A panel consists of a few people with expertise in their own fields, which also includes HR. It helps to get opinions from all the interviewers at a single meeting. Here again, body language and communication skills play a very important role. Video interview. In this day of advanced technology, online video interviews have become quite common. It is cost-effective and gives the advantage of speaking as well as seeing the person without having to travel. Body language and communication skills together are critical in this form of interview as well. A few points to remember. Do a dry run and ensure that your internet connectivity is up and running. Keep a backup for this in case there is an issue at the last moment. Confirm in advance about the program that will be used, for example, Skype, GoToMeeting, and make sure you have it installed and tested. Make sure that your surroundings are neat and clean to look professional and minimize disturbances around you. Since body language and communication skills are important for face-to-face interview, panel interview, and video interview, remember to make eye contact, keep a straight posture, Listen to questions carefully and answer to the point. Speak slowly and clearly. Have pleasant facial expressions. Smile. Matra's discussion boards are always open for your questions. Don't hesitate to ask. Matra's printable handout is full of important information available for this video.
In these COVID times, Zoom and Google Meet have also become very, very common to conduct interviews and meetings. This video is very detailed on all the points that you should keep in mind. So remember, an interview is like an event. It needs practice and planning. Making a checklist for things that need to be done is a good idea in your preparation for the interview. Even if you don't get the job, use it as a practice event. Learn from your experience. Make notes of where you could have improved yourself. This will help you in other interviews in the future. A printable handout with this video has even more detailed points with many typical questions that are asked in interviews. You can refer to this and prepare yourself with the tips and good advice. So, as you can see in these videos, grooming, body language, group discussions, interviews, they are all talking about confidence and good communication skills. Your grooming and body language comes under what is called non-verbal communication, which means no words are used, but we are still communicating something. If we wear dirty clothes with food stains on it, it shows that we are probably not paying attention to cleanliness or not giving the interview enough importance. Or if we have food around our mouth, it doesn't give a very clean feeling because it means we have not cleaned our face after a meal. So though we are not saying anything, it is still creating an impression in the other person's mind. This is noticed in group discussions and interviews. There is another kind of communication which we have spent the last 6 weeks learning about: words. Verbal communication includes listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Everything with words. So along with your grooming and body language, you also need listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills to be successful in your group discussions and interviews, which means you need a combination of both verbal and non-verbal communication for effective communication. Good communication skills are not so mushkil after all, as you have continuously seen in the last 6 weeks with Matra, and you have understood the importance of it, even more now in all the videos that we have watched today. If you remember, we had said in the very first online classroom session, the employers list communication as the #1 skill for recruitment among fresh graduates. It is the first skill that is noticed by people too. At Matra, we also feel that it is the first skill that increases our self-confidence and the belief that we are able to achieve what we want. Like we always say at Matra, language is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it will get. Exercise will make your body muscle stronger. Practice will make your language stronger. When you practice, you will get better in your communication skills. It is the Matra mantra. And that is why we tell you this at every step in our Matra video. There is no other shortcut to it. So many of you have been writing to us and telling us that there has been a newfound confidence in the last few weeks by doing the Matra Super Plus program. That makes us feel extremely good. So just continue working on your communication skills and you will also be all set to go out to the world with your ideas. With a smile. Chalo, now it is time for pronunciation practice. We have covered pretty much all the words from this video. Do not forget to bookmark it, watch it, and repeat the words along with the one you find difficult, and you'll be perfect with your presentation. Today, we'll do some similar sounding words from the list which are pronounced incorrectly by most people. The words we're doing are all beginning with V-I-O. Let's take these three words together since they all begin with V-I-O. V-I-O gets pronounced as via. So it'll be violet, violence, violin. Violet is a color. Violence means not peaceful. Violin is a musical instrument. What you need to note here is that most of us Indians say violet. Violet color ka kapda dikhana. It is not violet because it does not rhyme with toilet. It is violet. We say violence, violence, violin. It is via, not voy. So repeat each word after me. Violet. Once more. Violet. Next. Violence. Once again. Violence. And the last word in the same pattern. Violin. Repeat after me. Violin. Once more. Violin. Moving on to the next word is the word embarrass. Let's split this word into three parts. Embarrass. Now, as Indians, there are two words or two ways how we mispronounce it. First one is where many people confuse this with the word embrace, which means to hug or to say alingan karna, which is a different word altogether. That is embrace. This word is embarrass. The second way that we mispronounce it usually is where some auntie around you will be like, "Usne mujhe bada embarrass kiya, bada embarrassment hua mujhe." It's not embarrassment, it is embarrass. In three parts. Embarrass. Repeat after me. Embarrass. All right. With that, we're moving on to today's final MCQ test of the online classroom lectures. Now, this has 40 questions. Please remember that you have to do the final MCQ test on the website for your certificate. This test will not get you your certificate. It is important for your attendance in today's class. Please remember that this final MCQ is your final score and attendance. You have to do the final MCQ on the website for your certificate. This test will not get you your certificate. You will get your certificate on the website after submitting the MCQ. Whenever you reach week 6 there. So don't worry if your friends have got it, but you are still on week 1 or 2. Please do not confuse the two channels. If you do this test in the classroom today but miss the MCQ of week 6 on the portal, you will not get your certificate. Once you reach week 6 on the website and get the MCQ assignment there, you have 7 days to submit it. There is no excuse, oh, connection nahi tha, oh, ye hua, wo hua. No, no, no. 7 days are there and you have enough time for it. You will not get the certificate if you do not submit the week 6 assignment on the website. So be very, very careful about this when you reach week 6 on the portal. So you all know the drill, you all know the routine. I will copy the link and I will paste it in the chat box along with the classroom code. For the last time, please, 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 please spell check. Please spell check everything. I do not want to see Gamil, Jimla, Gamla, God knows what dirty spellings you all make of Gmail. So please be sure of what you are putting in. Okay? I have put in the link and the classroom code in the chat box for you. And you can directly click on it and fill up the details. You have 20 minutes and your timer has begun. If you need me to paste the link again or you need me for anything else, please put it in the chat box. I'm here to help you and just let me know. Okay? Best of luck. Devanand ji, if you're facing a problem on the website, please send an email to tech support, and details of your problem have to be provided along with your name and details, and they will get back to you. We did have a concern a couple of days ago, which was already resolved. So a lot of y'all will notice that if you have recently logged into the portal, things have already been resolved and should already have been taken care of. However, if you're still facing a problem, please send an email to tech support along with the details of your problems, the necessary screenshots, and your own details. So that way, they will get back to you.
Good morning, students. This is Anita, ma'am. Yes, as Yash sir said, Devanand, you have to send an email. Everybody does not have a problem. So if you have a problem, you have to send an email to the correct email address with screenshots, please. क्योंकि क्या problem चल रहा है, we do not know. There are students who say कि login नहीं हो रहा है and things like that, and then we find that they've not even done their registration. So please send us screenshots and we will help you. The other thing, just a quick reminder that today's lecture is going to be a 2-hour lecture because of the activity on interview skills. So just a heads up on that again. Thank you.
online medium and keep it to writing in the chat box. As if you put on a microphone, it might be a bit confusing since this is a large class. Also, there are bandwidth issues. So the best way to get the most of you to be able to contribute and participate will be in the chat box. I suggest you keep your notebook and pen ready with you. Some questions will need you to think about it and write it down. It will help you to prepare, edit, and get a good reply. Then you can copy it and type it into the chat box. Since there's always very good participation from you, we try and give you, we try and give you as much personalized guidance as possible, but this activity does take longer than usual. And that is the reason why this lecture is for 2 hours, unlike the others. Also, since it is the last one, there is more interaction in the question and answer segment. To begin the mock interview, let's imagine that we are at an interview for a job with a dream company and I am your interviewer. That means Yash Anand, sir, is your interviewer today. All right, let's begin. Your first question is, good morning, Akhil. Come in. Please have a seat. How are you doing today? Now, this is a very simple question, right? It's a typical polite question to begin a conversation. What will you say in response? Please put your answers in the chat box. I have said, okay, for example, good morning, Himanshu, or good morning, Sushmita. Please have a seat. How are you doing today? What is your response? Please put it in the chat box. Sonam Kumari says, I am pretty good, sir. I am fine today. I feel good today. I'm fine, thank you, sir. I'm very happy today. I feel very good today. All right. So there are many ways to answer this. Thank you, sir. I'm fine. How are you? That is a very good one, Ankit Ranjan. Sushmita, good morning. It's a nice day. Thank you, sir. So a lot of you would have noticed that what you are doing is saying you are just answering the question of how are you today? I'm doing fine. But you have to remember that an interview is also a kind of formal conversation. So potential answers to this could be, I'm very well, thank you. And you? I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing? I'm good, thank you. How are you? So what is happening here is, yes, the first question is being answered. How are you today? I'm doing very well. I'm fine. I'm good. After that, we thank the person for showing concern or asking that question, and then we continue it by asking in return how they are doing. This follows a format of a conversation where if you were to meet someone for the if you were meeting कोई बड़े बुजुर्ग and they ask you बेटा कैसे हो, your response is मैं अच्छा हूँ or I'm doing well. आप कैसे हैं? That is a polite thing to do, right? You always ask that in return. Okay, so a lot of you all have been saying very good stuff. And thank you is THANKYOU. Do not write thank you as thank and the letter U. Paap lagega. All right, moving on. How do you come here? How did you come here? Did you have any difficulty in finding our office? Now, the interview is being polite here and is trying to make you comfortable by asking a general question. How would you answer this question? Please put your responses in the chat box. Let's see your contributions. Ashutosh, what about the reply to good morning? When someone says good morning, you'd say good morning back to them. Raj Bahadur Kumar, there's nothing to apologize. I'm just saying generally, you're not the only one who said thank you that way. So there's plenty of people. No, not at all, sir. Thank you for your concern. Which is a very good response, Sushmita. In the previous slide, yeah, exactly. So you don't need to see good morning is a greeting, in which case you will reply back to the greeting as also good morning. Anayata, no, it's easy to come. Thank you. How did you come here? Okay, what is the question? How did you come here? Not whether it was easy or not, right? The question was, how did you come here? I came here walking. I don't live far away, so I came walking, or I caught a rickshaw, and the area is fairly easy to find. So respond to the question. Yes, at the end of the day, they're still trying to express the same thing. However, it's always nice to respond to the question that is being asked. Ankit Ranjan, I came by local transport, sir. No, sir, there was no difficulty. Another thing which we tend to do a lot as Indians is we keep saying sir, sir, sir again and again. We don't need to do that. Even if you do it once, it's fine. I came here by local transport, sir, and no, there was no difficulty in finding the place. Thank you. So I come by bus, no problem to search office. I came. So I. How did you come here? Response will be I came here because activity is already over, right? Already it's finished. So I came. It became bhutkal or past tense. So I came by bus. I did not have any problem, or I did not face any problem, or did not face any difficulty in looking or in finding the office. I am coming by auto and no any difficulty to come here. So Devanand, again, same response. I came by auto because ho gaya activity. It's already done. So I came by auto and I did not face any difficulty, or I did not have any difficulty in finding the office. I came here by bus. I didn't face any difficulties in finding office. Very good, so Saurav Kumar Singh. Okay. Now some potential answers to this could be I came by bus. This is a famous building, so I had no problem in finding it. I live nearby. So I walked. I had to ask a few people for directions, but it wasn't too difficult. Or I came by rickshaw. I have been in this area before, so I had some idea of this place. Okay, so these are some responses to this question. Moving on. Tell me something about yourself. Now, this is a warm up question so that you can speak about something that you are comfortable with. Now, this is a very common question to begin the formal interview after the hello. Like they say, hello, kaise hain, hello, all okay. All that full conversation is already done. So now they're kind of warming up to the first question, which is, tell me something about yourself. Now, you have to use this opportunity to say something more than what your resume already has. Your interviewer has your resume in front of them. They liked it, which is why they called you for an interview. So already they have seen that what is your degree, what is your college, what is your year of graduation, where do you live. So don't waste precious time on that. For example, let's say I'm a civil engineer. So I will get straight to the point of talking about my degree and how I want to take it further. So a response that I could potentially give is, I have just completed my graduation this year in civil engineering. I like project planning and I'm also very concerned about the environment. I would like to contribute to a healthier, greener world using technology that will benefit future generations. So, what will you say? This is an answer which you need to think about. So, please write it in a notebook first. It will help you to share a better constructed answer instead of typing directly in the chat box. Please pay attention to punctuations and capitalizations and using SMS jargon or SMS language. I haven't been focusing that much on the punctuation in your responses, but it is something that you all need to work on, and it is something that you all need to look at when you're writing. Okay, so please share once you're ready. Please share your answers in the chat box. What would your response be if someone said, tell me something about yourself? Anyone? कहाँ गए सब? Are all of you thinking? Okay, so Devanand Kumar says, my name is Devanand and I belong to Katihar. I have completed I have completed BTech in the mechanical stream. Okay, so Devanand, in this, you need to look at breaking up sentences, right? The first thing is, my name is Devanand and I belong to Katihar, which is great. You always begin a sentence with a capital M or a capital letter. So the first M would be capital. Aapka naam is always a name or any name is always going to be in capital letters. So again, D will be capital. And I, standalone I or only I will always be capital anywhere. Okay, and I belong to Katihar. Again, Katihar is the name of a place, it's a naming word. So if it is a name of a place or a name of a person, it will usually be in capital letters. So again, Katihar will be capital K. Full stop. End the sentence there. Moving on to the next part. I have completed BTech. Again, BTech is a short form for your degree. So B capital dot T capital. BTech in the mechanical stream, not from mechanical stream. So in Hindi, if I were to translate, if in Hindi this would be मैकेनिकल स्ट्रीम से बीटेक किया है या मैकेनिकल स्ट्रीम में बीटेक किया है. In Hindi it will be may, right? So it will be in, not from. Okay, but for a start, this is a very good start. Is there anyone else who wants to give a response to tell me something about yourself? We have done activities on write a paragraph about yourself, elevator pitch. We've done these things, right? So I want to see what your responses are. Ankit Ranjan, very good. I have just completed my graduation this year in mechanical engineering. I love coffee. I have an idea of a spill-proof coffee bottle. I plan on executing that, which is really good. So what has Ankit Ranjan done here? Ankit Ranjan has described what his degree is in, what is something that he likes, and how his idea or his plan is to combine his degree with something that he loves. Now, the only comment that I have over here for you is that I have an idea for a spill-proof coffee bottle that I plan on executing. Right? So over here, it's not idea of a spill-proof bottle, it's idea for a spill-proof bottle. Saurav Kumar Singh. My name is Saurav Kumar Singh. I belong to Bhagalpur district and just completed my graduation this year in civil engineering. I like project planning and structural work. I would like to work as a team member in your company. Which is a good, so the good thing here is that your sentences are correct. So I have no problem there. The only thing is we usually when the interviewer says, tell me something about yourself, we're not looking for someone to be like, हमें आपके चरणों में ले लो, आपकी शरण में ले लो. That is not how you approach an interview. You don't approach them saying, I would like to work in your team member in your description about yourself. In your description, you talk about yourself. I like project planning and structural work, and my degree, I'm hoping that using my degree, I'm able to help create a more organized city, or I'm hoping to create something in like be able to work in a big project, something like that, right? Prince Kumar, I am Prince Kumar. I belong to Samastipur. I will graduate I will graduate BTech in Mechanical Engineering in 2022. I will complete my BTech. Would be an easier way of expressing this. But good job. Anayatur, I'm Anayatur Rahman. I've just completed my MBA. I've just completed an MBA. I have good business skills. I love working. I love working together with people, not with people together, but in general, very good. Devashish M Capital. My name is Devashish. Full stop, space. Then after that, I have just completed my graduation last year in civil engineering. I would like to work. मैं आशा करता हूं कि या मैं चाहता हूं कि चाहता हूं would be I would like to work in the education sector. I have an idea to educate in an interesting and digital way. I would love to work with you. This is very, very nicely done. All right, so that's some great answers. Moving on. So if some of you are still following the same format of name, where I'm from, what is my degree, and that's it. But it's something that you all can work on and kind of improve. Okay, moving on to the next bit. Tell me about your final year project. Was it a group project? Now, this is your chance to talk about yourself without showing off. You can talk about the project by giving the topic. You can speak a few more lines on it, mention the semester to add information. Make sure that you have answered both the questions clearly. What are the questions? Tell me about your final year project, and was it a group project? So don't go around the bush, or don't ghumao the bat. Talk about or answer the questions that have been asked. Let me give you an example. In the first semester, it was a group project, and in the second semester, it was an individual project. My project was on structural and foundation analysis. Now, this is a sample answer, right? Which might be, so what I want you all to do is to write down your answer in your notebook, and I leave it to you to decide as to how you want to write this. Once it's ready, please share it with us. Okay. In the meanwhile, Sushmita Kumari says, I am Sushmita, currently pursuing a BTech in civil engineering. I would like to work in an administrative department. Okay. Raja Babu, my name is Raja Babu. I belong to Aurangabad, and I am working on projects because my examination is coming soon. Okay, sorry, I'm just kind of thinking as to, so Raja Babu, over here, when we say, or when the interviewer asks you, tell me something about yourself, what they want to know is what something interesting about you that I wouldn't know from your resume, but also think of it like a sales pitch. When you go to buy a fridge, at that point, does the salesman say, sir, this fridge is by Whirlpool. It is from Germany, and it washes clothes very well. So this is not a very good sales pitch, right? It is not portraying the best features of that product. Now think of yourself as a product, and you're selling yourself to me as your interviewer. So what would you say to sell yourself, or to be like, this is why I'm interesting, or this is why you should hire me, or this is why I add value to you, or when I join your company, right? So always have that in your mind and think of that when you are answering the question. Okay. Sushmita Kumari, yes, it is a group project as we are in the last semester. So dash 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 is our project topic. Our group is working hard to achieve our goal. GOAL. GAOL means something completely different. But very good. I like how you have given me a fill in the blanks to fill in something. You can do man ghadit kahani. funny. You can make up stories. I'm perfectly fine with that, as long as you all put something in. Okay, what about the rest of you? I'd like to hear your responses on what is your final year project and was it a group project? You can make up stories. I'm perfectly fine with it. I am not going to go and ask anyone. Aditya Pratap, I'm not clear. In what way am I not clear? Is my voice not clear or have you not understood the question? I'm happy to answer and take care of both things. Voice, I don't think there should be a problem because everyone else can hear me. Ankit Ranjan, my last project was a group project. We were analyzing the loss due to friction and finding ways to reduce that. Very, very nicely done, Ankit Ranjan. Very nice. But I do have one one point for you. Okay, Anayatur Rahman. It was an individual project. It was on the topic of robotics. Very nice. Okay, Shivshankar Biswas, as I said, we will address your technical questions regarding the website later. For now, let's focus on the activity because at the end of the day, ये जो भी मेहनत चल रही है वो सब इंटरव्यू के लिए चल रही है, कम्युनिकेशन के लिए चल रही है, right? So let's focus on the activity that we're doing right now. Okay, my feedback for both Ankit as well as Anayatur. Exam में answer in brief question, which is for 5 marks, you don't answer with an answer in one line with 1 mark, right? The question is a 5 mark, 3 mark question, answer in brief. You have to say at least 2-3 things to complete that circle. You can't give answer in one line or answer in one word when an interviewer asks you a question. So tell me something about your final year project. Was it a group project? Yes, my last project was a group project and it was on the topic of loss due to friction and finding ways to reduce that. We felt that it was an interesting topic that would combine our mutual skills, or it would involve all the team members in a very engaging way. So that's something that you can say. As I said, you're just making up stories right now. It may or may not be true. As long as you're coming up with sentences which close the entire loop. Okay, Devashish, in the first semester, it was a group project. The topic was waste management. Waste, spelling dekh lo, it is W-A-S-T-E. In the second semester, it was an individual project. My individual project was on global navigation satellite system. Yes, Ankit, you need to see. I'm not saying elaborate and write a long Mahabharat Ramgatha on it. 2-3 lines to kind of expand on it, so it doesn't feel like a very, very short. So tell me, was your group project? Was it a group project? Yes, sir. It was a group project. Full stop. It can't end at that. You have to say a little more. Okay. Now, very, very good answers that have been coming in. So it's always a good thing to write down your answers to these commonly asked questions, like an elevator pitch. You can then practice it as many times without mistakes, and you can summarize it and say it quickly and confidently, because these questions are going to come up in any interview that you do. Remember that the interview is not going to be more than 5 to 7 minutes. So you have to make sure that you can communicate all the important points in the shortest possible time. Chalo, moving on. Do you like working in group or individual projects, and why? Now, this kind of question is asked to understand what kind of person are you, about your interpersonal skills. It is always best to say that you like to work on group projects because teamwork is very important in the working world. Explain why. Add a brief example if required. But remember that your example has to be short. It can't be a long, detailed explanation because the person or the interviewer will get bored, and you can be sure that the interviewer will cut you short after a certain point. So you can say something like this in response to, do you like working in a group or in individual projects, and why? I enjoy working in a team environment. It is nice to discuss ideas and improve on them before coming to a final conclusion. I like meeting people and learning from conversations, so I prefer group projects. Now, notice the structure here. You've answered the question, do you like working? Yes, I like working in group or an individual project. Why? It is nice to discuss ideas and improve on them. So I'm elaborating a little bit. I'm giving 2-3 points why I like working in a group or why I like working individually. So you have to explain yourself a little bit. Okay, please write your answers in the chat box. I'd like to see what you'll write. Please, if possible, kind of structure your answers or compose your answers in the notebook and then type it into the chat box. Okay, Raja, my name is Raja Babu. I am a BTech student in the civil stream, which is a nice start, Raja. Like I'm happy. Like it's nice to see how you have amended your initial one. Adarsh Kumar, so my final year project was a group based was group based or was a group based project. So depending on whether you put the or don't put the it'll depend how you write that. Okay, so my project was a group based project on sustainable green building. Sustainable green building is the future. We need to become more, we have to be more conscious of our environment, which is why we chose this project. So expand more on this, Adarsh. Like say another line or two. Prince Kumar, yes, it is a group project. We worked. So it's the activity is already done, right? Either we are working, it is chalu, or it is over. So it is already in the past. So we are working on reducing prices of products, or we worked on reducing the price of products. Saurabh Kumar saying the question is asking about final year. Is it necessary to tell them about first sem projects? Okay, Saurabh Kumar saying it depends on what you want to answer. Now, if your final project, which is your final sem project, is not a very exciting project, you don't have that much to talk about, then you talk about your first sem project, because the interviewer is not going to go and be like Jasus, and he's not going to be, acha, tell me, Saurabh Kumar Singh ne ye project kiya, kaun se sem mein kiya, kya kiya. It is all about confidence. I have asked you as an interviewer, tell me about your project. So you tell me about any project that you have worked on and you are excited about and have a lot to talk about. So no one's going to question you or cross-check, oh, was it first sem or second sem? Was it final? Was it this? Was it that? No one's asking you that. Confidently talk about the project which you are comfortable to talk about. Okay. Sushmita Kumari, I would love to work in a group. Group work improves our working experience and enhances the communication skills as well. So Sushmita Kumari, I like what you have written. Very, very good. You've structured it well. Your language use is very good. However, the question was it a group project or not? And do you like working in a group? So I would love to work in groups, or I would love to work in a group would mean that till date you have never worked in a group. Right? Because I would love to work would mean मुझे पसंद आएगा group में काम करना. Where what you I am assuming you'd want to say is I like working in groups. मुझे पसंद है. पसंद आएगा नहीं, मुझे पसंद है. So I like to work in groups, or I like working in groups. Same for you, Harsh. I would like to work on group projects because we can deal any problems more effectively in a group rather than individually. So I capital. So the whole I would like to work on group projects is would need to change to I like working, or I like to work on group projects because we can deal with any problems more effectively in a group rather than individually. And I like to work in a group because groups that work well together can achieve much more than individuals working on their own. B capital, being a part of a team will help you develop your helps Being a part of a team will help you develop your interpersonal skills such as speaking and listening, as well as team working skills such as leadership. Why do I feel तुम्हें ये कहाँ से तो चेपा है? Like it just feels a little copy paste. Just feeling. I'm not very sure, but feeling hai thodi. But anyways, the sentence is a good sentence, so it's not a bad thing. But just make sure that you're copying correctly. Yes, I like group working. I enjoy working in a team environment. Environment. It is nice to discuss ideas and improve on them before coming to a final conclusion. Spelling, spelling, spelling. Please spell check. And it improves quality of the project. Very good. So a lot of you all are talking about how working in a team environment allows you to discuss your ideas. Ankit Ranjan also says it makes it easy to find the flaws and to come up with innovative solutions. Beautifully written. Very, very nicely written, Ankit. I like working in group projects because in groups we can share and discuss our ideas and easily rectify our mistakes. Very nice, Sonu Rani. Very, very nice. Okay, so good attempts. Moving on. What is the one quality you have that you consider your key strength and why? Now, this is a good question which gives you a chance to say something important or positive about yourself or a skill or your attitude. Think about one strength that you have and want to let the interviewer know. Try and give a reason for it with the example. It is always better to compose these kind of answers and learn it. Always pick a quality that you can explain. Instead of saying I am hardworking or saying I am honest or saying something vague, choose something like one of my biggest strengths is that I am very patient and listen very carefully. While working in groups, I find that this helps to understand the other person and this leads to good discussions. If the other person has similar qualities, we work well as a team. Please compose your answer and put it in the chat box. Now, another thing that I want you to consider when you're picking a quality or choosing a quality, choose qualities that add value to the company or you think would add value to the organization that you're interviewing for. By saying, I am an honest person, has nothing to do if you're interviewing for the role of a data analyst. Data analysis is not about honesty, it is about eye for detail, right? And good aptitude for data analysis or good aptitude for numbers. So then your quality should accordingly change or has to accordingly reflect why you're applying for that job or has to suit the job that you're applying for. And you need to explain why. You can't be, again, this is not an answer in one word question. You need to give a little more information. Okay, Raja, Sonu Rani, I like working in group projects because in group we can share and discuss our ideas and easily rectify our mistakes. Good job, Sonu Rani. Prince, I like to work in a team because in a team, all team members share their ideas and where there is a mistake, it will get shot out. I think you want to say sorted out. So sorted out would be a good answer. Raja Babu, yes, I like working in groups because discuss about the projects. Okay, Raja Babu, we're going to have to restructure your sentence because the sentences don't connect to each other very well. Okay, so yes, I like working in groups, full stop. It allows us to discuss the projects. It allows us to discuss the project and identify which parts need improving or correcting, so that so that we can reach this helps us reach a final conclusion and improve our project. Like because the English is a little roundabout, so we need to kind of clean it up and polish it a bit so that it means the correct thing. Yeah, but good attempt, Raja Babu. Okay, Anayatur, my strength is I always keep my schedule planned. My strength helps me a lot. The planning of everything gives me more time to look at my mistakes so that I am able to correct them. I could able to correct is incorrect, so that I am able to correct them. This increases my chance of success. Very good. Sushmita Kumari, I think my patience and ease of learning are my biggest strengths. There are two strengths that you have named, so it are my biggest strengths. That's two. These help me to work more effectively and efficiently with anyone and always encourages me to achieve more. Beautiful. Very, very nice. My biggest strength is that I'm very patient. What is patientful? Patientful doesn't exist, Devanand. So it's only I'm very patient and always try new technology in my work. Very good. What is your second sentence to that? Okay, so while you're replying or while you're putting stuff in, I am going to move to the next question so you can start thinking on that, and then I'm going to come back and read this. Okay, the next question is, what is your long-term career goal? Now, this is another very commonly asked question. It is being asked to see if you have thought about your future, your career, to see if you have a vision for yourself. What you have to think of is where you would like to be in the next 5 to 10 years. So this is the place to share something about your ambition or career or dreams going forward. Let me give an example. Since I mentioned in the beginning that I am very conscious of the environment, I picked an answer to repeat that interest. Things have to be consistent. The response could potentially be, or a sample answer would be, as I mentioned, I'm very concerned about the environment. With the increasing changes in climate, eco-friendly structures have become extremely important. It is a new concept and some countries have started working on it. I would really like to work on something like this in India. Now, this answer definitely needs composing. Take 2-3 minutes to write down 2 or 3 sentences and please put your answers in the chat box. Okay. Okay, Devashish, one of my biggest strengths is I'm a quick learner and it helps me to work on new ideas. It's not only one idea that you're working on, it's many ideas that you want to work on, right? So it helps me work on new ideas. Ankit Ranjan, my biggest strength, although sometimes it becomes my weakness too, is trying to get close to perfection. I do things not just to check all the required boxes, I do it until I am satisfied. Ankit Ranjan, I think this is beautifully written and I think it is very, very well constructed. Very nicely done. Saurav Kumar Singh, one of my biggest strengths is that I'm very patient and listen very carefully. Hey, copy paste. मेरा strength मुझे ही you're copying and sending. What is this, cheater? Wait, hold on. I lost my train of thought. But anyways, listen, even if you're copying, that's fine. But please make sure that you have stuff to talk about. It shouldn't be copy paste as is. You should have strengths that you are talking about for yourself as well. Okay. So while working in group, I respect each member's ideas. So member apostrophe S ideas, and my priority is the safety in the project. I think safety of the project. So just to give you a little understanding here, in Hindi, would it be project mein safety ki project ka safety? So it's ka, right? So project ke safety ke liye, so then it would be of safety of the project. Sonu Rani, one of my biggest strengths is that I am a good listener and this helps me a lot during my studies. And I think it also helps me to work in a group very effectively. Very nicely done, Sonu Rani. Adarsh Kumar, my strong side is that I always believe in learning and like to listen to the front person very carefully and believe in doing the given work better. Okay, now over here, I like what you have written. There is only one note that I'd like to give you. Front person is something that is a translation from Hindi to English. सामने वाले इंसान की बात ध्यान से सुनना is what you're trying to say. But in English, we सामने वाला आदमी या सामने वाले की बात would not translate as person in front or the front person. I always listen to the opposite person very carefully because he is standing opposite you. So in front is correct as a position, but when you say it in English, it converts as the opposite person. I always listen to the opposite person very carefully and believe in doing the given work better and better. Anatur, okay, moving on to career long-term graduation along with my job. I want to do an MBA because I have a good, because I have a good interest in marketing and business. I think an MBA will help me to become more employable and will increase my business skills. After achieving or after gaining an MBA, I will start my own business. Very nicely written, Anayatur. What about the rest of you? What are your career goals? I'd like to see more career goals. But in general, I'm very proud of you guys. I'm very, very, very proud of all of you for how beautifully and how nicely y'all are writing things and y'all are participating and y'all are taking such effort to put in such good answers. It's a great step that you can come out of your comfort zone and try to put your thoughts down. Once you get it out and you start communicating, everything becomes easier because now that you know how those ideas are supposed to be structured or how you're supposed to kind of combine them together, it becomes easier for you to do it yourself. Okay, so please give yourselves a big round of applause or clap for yourselves for the amount of effort that you're putting in. Okay, moving on to the next question. I still want to see your career goal answer, but I'm just going to start working on the next question and put it out for you so that we have time. Okay. Now, what do you know about our company? Why would you like to work here? Now, all the research that you did about the company that you're interviewing for comes into use here. Also, the reason why you apply to this company. Keep your answer short and to the point. So, an answer can be something like, I have read a lot about the work that you do. I know that your projects have a positive impact on society. I would be very happy to work with such an environmentally ethical company as it fits into what I see for myself going forward. Right? So please frame your sentences in your notebook and then put them in the chat box. Ankit Ranjan, you say, I want to start my own company next. There's no in next. I would like to start my company next. Till then, I plan on earning investment money as well as gaining experience. But very nice. It sounds like a solid plan. Very good. Anyone else who wants to talk about their career plans? And then after that, please start phrasing your questions or phrasing your responses for what do you know about our company and why would you like to work here? बच्चों, students, children, where you all disappeared? Previous question also no response. This question also no response. Like I'm starting to be very worried. क्या मैं इतना boring हूँ? Saurav Kumar Singh, as you know, I belong to Bihar state, and thus my future goal is to increase employment in Bihar in the engineering field. Very good. That is a good long-term career aspiration. Very, very nice. What about the rest of you? What about the girls? I want to hear something from the girls as well. What are your career aspirations? Any response from you guys? So where are your responses? Listen, don't feel shy, even if it's incorrect. See, the thing is, we are in a setting here where we want to learn, we want to gain from each other. गलतियां होंगी because अभी हम सीख रहे हैं, right? So it is all about learning from each other. Listen to the corrections, listen to the points I'm giving, because that is going to help you structure your own sentences better. So please participate, please put in your comments. Devashish Kumar, as I mentioned, I will work in the education sector. I will educate students. Who do you want to educate, right? So I will educate students with new concepts and and use technical and digital formats to do so. Or I will I think it will be better if you say I will use technical and digital formats to educate the students, or to teach students new concepts. Okay, I'm still waiting for the rest of y'all to put in your responses, because it's 2 questions. I can't move forward without gaining at least 1 or 2 more responses from you guys. थोड़ा कुछ डाल दीजिए, मेरे मन के तसल्ली के लिए कुछ डाल दीजिए. See, so far, as I said, I'm very proud of you all. I think the effort that you're putting in is very, very good. The kind of answers that you're putting in is very, very strong. So I just want to see what you'll put in. Sushmita Kumari, I want to work in the administrator field later. I would love to serve my society. Very nice, Sushmita. Very, very good. Now I'd like you to start thinking about what do you know. So I am the interviewer, right? Yashanand is your interviewer. And my question to you is, what do you know about our company, or what do you know about my company, and why would you like to work here? Now you're interviewing for the company, right? So why would you like to work here? I'd like to see your responses on this, please. As I mentioned, I will work in the solar sector. I love to save my environment. I would love to. मैं आशा करता हूं कि, या मैं इच्छा रखता हूं, या मुझे पसंद, I would love to save my environment is what you need to say then. I serve my society as a teacher. I shall or I will develop. Okay, I'm just hold on. I'm just trying to read the sentence to understand what you're trying to say. I serve my society as a teacher. I shall be develop knowledge and inspire thinking capacity. Okay, so Uma Sindhuja, a little work on this. I hope, मैं आशा करती हूँ कि मैं society को serve कर पाऊँ as a teacher, right? So I hope to serve my society as a teacher. I will help to develop knowledge and to inspire thinking capacity. Right? So that would be a nicer way to kind of complete those sentences and to put in the correct action words and the correct usage. Okay. I am yet to see anyone say anything about joining the company. Why would you like to join my company? A lot of you all, I noticed that you all are kind of following the same format as the answer that was in the slide. Do try and change it a bit to suit exactly what you're saying, but it's a good start. Very nice, Ankit Ranjan. As I said, I want to start a company. It will do business in a field similar to yours. So I want to understand the market better while working here. And since you are the best, I will be learning from the best. Very good. Very, very nice response. Saurav Kumar Singh, I have listened a lot about Matra. I got lots of knowledge in communication. I took surveys about this education platform, and I would like to work as HR in this education platform to make it #1 in the world. And I thought I have read a lot about your work. Your website has a lot of information, not have. Your website has a lot of information about your company's achievements. Your ABC Global company have a good impact in India and have a large contribution in the digital sector. Your company also takes responsibility for environment related issues. I'm very happy. I would be very happy to work with your organization. Okay, now there's like for Naveen Kumar, I'm just going to pause here. I googled some information about your company. I found good reviews. I believe that I know a lot now and hope I can create a good picture for your working environment. Okay, now as an interviewer, I will not. I personally won't like a response like this, and I'll explain why. You just made it sound like I am a Zomato restaurant, which you went onto Zomato and you looked for the information. This is a 5-star restaurant, so हम यहाँ पे खाएंगे. So essentially, what you're telling me as an interviewer is that I went to Google, I googled your company, बड़े अच्छे रिव्यू थे, तो उसके लिए मैंने सोचा कि मैं आपके पास आऊंगा काम करने, because your reviews were great. So that is not a very nice reason to join the company because you read great reviews. It should be because the work that the company does suits or matches your career aspirations or suits or matches your skill sets or your knowledge, right? So you're supposed to match those things. You can't be like, oh, I googled you and your reviews were great, so therefore I want to work with you. It won't be a very nice way of expressing it to the interviewer. Okay, so moving on to the next question, while you're still answering this, do you have any questions for me? Now, this is one of the last questions that an interviewer will ask you. It might be the very last one as well and should give you a hint that the interview is almost over. Most people ask this question to see how alert you are and what your attitude is or check your confidence levels. You must prepare yourself for this question and have an answer ready. Always better to ask at least one question. Read about the company to be able to ask a good, solid question that will leave a good impression on the research you have done. Do not ask about salaries or if you have a chance to get the job. You can ask questions like, is there a new project that is coming up for which you're recruiting freshers? Or another question you can ask is, by when can I hope to hear from you about your decision? So what would you ask an interview? Write your answers in the chat box, please. In the meanwhile, let's read some of the answers. As per my research, this company was established in 2008 with the aim of changing human lives. This attracts me most about this company. Even the project and the programs run by this company are very good, is too good. बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत बेहतरीन है, is how you would say is too good, which is not how it translates in English. In English, are very good is what you would say. But Sushmita Kumari, very nicely written. Devashish, I have read a lot about the work that you do. I know that your contract has a positive impact on the education sector with a new concept. So I would be very happy to work with such a company. Very nice, Devashish. Adarsh, this company is very serious about its operations, especially its social impact. Also, this company also takes good care of its employees would not be correct. You're using also twice. Also, this company takes good care of its employees. This is the main reason why I I would like to join it. Okay, so very, very good. Chalo, moving on. Next question. What questions do you have for me? Do you have any questions for me? First वाला question पूछेंगे sir. Meaning? Sushmita Kumari, so would you like to work on the education department in the future? Okay, so this is a continuation of your uh, responses so far, right? That you want to become a teacher, you want to add value, you want to help develop the minds. Now, the company that you are interviewing for, if it is not already in the education department or is not already in the education sector, you shouldn't be interviewing for that position because it doesn't match your career aspirations, right? It doesn't match what you want to do or what you want to learn. Your company that you want to join has to match your career aspirations. So, what do you value more, hard work or a very innovative mind? Uh, could be a interesting question, but a good point for you to remember. Whenever they say, "Do you have any questions for me?" indicates, do you have any question for me as an interviewer with regards to the position, with regards to the job, not my personal opinions, because it is a very tricky place to get into. As far as possible, recommendation would be to not ask personal question or not ask personal opinions from the interviewer. It becomes a very risky situation or a tricky situation. Okay, Saurav Kumar Singh, no sir, thank you for your which is exactly what we are saying. You need to ask questions as far as possible. At least ask one question because it helps the interviewer understand or know, are you paying attention or are you being alert? Okay. Now, it's nice to see the effort that came up from so many of you. I like the effort that has gone in. Just want to make a small point here. I know that this is just a practice exercise, but please, please, please pay attention to the spellings and punctuation. Devashish Kumar, is there any new project coming up to work in rural education? So is there any new project is coming up? Nahin, you drop that is because you're already asking a question, right? Is there any new project coming up to work in rural education? Or you can just say, is there any new project in rural education? Okay, so very good contributions. Please teach your smartphone the correct spellings and it'll become even easier for you to use them. Writing with correct spellings and punctuation should be a habit. You won't even realize that you're getting it all correct. Just a little work now. Teach your phone to forget the wrong spellings, learn the correct ones, and you will be all set. When you see and listen to your mistakes, you get a chance to correct them. So hats off to all of you all who made an effort to participate. Taliyan. And that also you did with a smile. So thank you for that. Hey, Pepsi wala dialogue. End me. Pehle, let me finish what I'm doing. Okay, so important information again about your certificate. I can't help it. I am constantly repeating myself because it's the same questions again and again. Those of you all who haven't yet, please remember that you will get your certificate on the website only after you submit the MCQ of week 6 on the website. If you miss this, you will not get a certificate. So please make sure you do not miss this test in week 6 on Matra's website. For those of you who have technical issues with the site, please don't worry. The issue will be resolved and you will also reach week 6 on the portal. Please remember that you have to complete the MCQ of week 6 when you get there. Like I said before, all of you might be at different places on the website right now, but please don't worry about it. Whenever you reach week 6, submit the MCQ to get your certificate. It is a photo certificate, तो अपना face डालिए, Na ke jhad, patti, phool, suryoday, suryast. No such things. Please put your own photo before you submit the assignment in week 6. Please don't forget this. Please remember that your certificate will have to do the final MCQ on the website. In today's online classroom, when you submitted your final test, it was for your attendance. Also, your scores are sent to your college. You will not get your certificate for the online classroom test. Please don't get confused. Please submit the final MCQ of week 6 on Matra's website to get your e-photo certificate. Now, question and answer time. Sushmita Kumari, when the final MCQ will appear on the website? The final MCQ appears on the website in week 6 of your online class, online session, or on your website. So in the website, during the course in week 6 is when it will get assigned to you, or it will come up on your dashboard as an assignment. At that point, you need to do it. Ankit Ranjan, I hope that helps you and answers your question. Ankit Ranjan, then I would ask, what are you looking for in the candidates for this position? Okay, so you don't need to say otherwise I don't really have a question. That is fine. You can drop that part. You could ask what qualities are you seeking, or what qualities are you looking for in the candidate for this position? That could be a question as well. Thanks, sir, ma'am. I'm from a rural background where quality education is not provided, but I got lots of knowledge and communications. Matra's online education platform. I hope it will help me in the future a lot. Okay, Saurabh Kumar Singh, I am. Are we still in interview mode and you're responding to the interview, or are you talking about Matra actually? Yes, thank you, Ankit. Please don't say that to the interviewer. Okay, those of you all who have questions, please questions daliye. Saurabh Kumar, I am glad that you feel that about Matra, and our only aim is to help you in whatever way possible to improve your skills. If it's knowledge, communication skills. So you'll have lifetime access to the Matra's portal. So if ever you have a question, or if ever you have a doubt, you can always come back, use the Matra portal, log in, and look up the video or look at the handouts, read what you want, and सब कुछ आपको मिलेगा. सर मेरा वाला रिक्वेस्ट तो पीछे छूट गया. आपका रिक्वेस्ट एंड में एड्रेस किया जाएगा. So you will be patient. Dhairya, Balak, Dhairya. Is there anyone else with questions? I know you all had a lot of technical issues and technical questions to ask, so please ask them. Today is the last session, so you'll need to ask me if you'll have any questions with regards to Matra's portal or any technical questions that you'll have. अभी तो question नहीं है. Before you all had 1,000 questions before we started the activities. Now I have to go back. Okay, so now that I've had to go back, assignment has not started yet. Once your assignment, which is your final assignment for week 6, your MCQ, which will come up on your dashboard, you will have 7 days. You will get reminders to complete it. So you'll have 7 days to complete it. So at that point, please do the needful. Internal server error occurred. So just
yes, sir. I'd just like to address these questions here. One, Snehi said that assignment has not yet started. Please send us a screenshot. You know, a lot of you are telling us assignment shuru nahi hua, but when you send us a screenshot, we can see assignment is going to begin on the 26th of February. Now, if it is the 26th of February, then you have to wait till the 26th of February because you must have registered on the course only today. So it will take that much time to reach there. If it tells you that 32nd February ko shuru hone wala hai, then please send us a screenshot because then obviously something is wrong. So if assignment has not yet started, you will have to wait for it to start. But if it has started and you are still not able to do it, please send us an email to the correct email address, and we will look after you. Anayatul, yes, your emails are with us. As an outcome of the glitch on the Azure server the other day, the business email is not opening, but we will look after all of that. Yeah, and it's really nice to know that you submitted all your other assignments. The more you do your self practice, the better it is for you. So that's really nice to know. And Anayatul, we've received all your emails. Every time we get an email from you, it comes 3 times. So hamare sar mein hai. Your name is registered nicely in our head, like everybody else's also who have sent it to us only once. So you can send us that email only once. And yes, we will look into business email. We are looking after that right now, and we'll get back to you as soon as it's resolved. Yes, sir. I think Saurav's question is for you. If there are no questions for me, I just want to tell you that you all have been a fantastic batch. We've had a great time with all of you during this journey, and we hope that you all have learned. And we at Matra know that you all just adore Yash sir, and yes, he is one of our very, very best mentor. So you all have been lucky to have him. Please send us an email with your social media handle. We'll be happy to feature you on our page and tag you. And if today is the last online classroom lecture, but we can keep in touch on social media and on the website. Should you have any problems on the website, please write for tech support to the correct email address, and we will be happy to help you. So wishing you all the very best, all the very, very best going forward. And now over and with that I will say goodbye. Yash sir, over to you now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay. I still have Adarsh Kumar's request to fulfill. But before that, there is a question from Shivam Classical. What are your weaknesses? Then what to say. So if an interviewer asks you, what are your weaknesses? Your weaknesses have to be something that are, again, business linked or professional environment linked. So for example, my weakness is that, for example, I can say I studied in I didn't study English as my first language, which is why I am constantly attempting to learn and improve my language skills, right? So that can be a response. So what I would always do is I would express my weakness, but along with that, I will also express, or I will also mention what I am doing to correct that weakness. You can't say I am lazy. That is my weakness. But wo laziness ka aap kar kya rahe ho? What are you doing to change it? What are you doing to improve that? Right? So if an interview asks you such a question about your weakness, A, let it be something that is work or professional related. Don't let it be, oh, my weakness is I like eating a lot. It has nothing to do with the job. It has nothing to do with your career. It has nothing to do with the interviewer's time with you, right? Saurav Kumar saying, my opinion about this batch, y'all are amazing. Every time that I used to I do these sessions, I look forward to 08YF because y'all are so engaging, and y'all are always interacting, and y'all always have things to say, and y'all always kind of respond to my jokes. So I think I like that. So thank you so much for just being amazing. And Adarsh, आपका request है, यही है right choice, baby. Okay, that's all you're getting from me. Now, with regards to, if there are no more questions for me, I've had a fantastic time training you guys, and the classroom code is 08YF201. You've been amazing. I'm going to miss these online classroom sessions with you, and I hope you're going to miss this session as well as me. You do have lifetime access to Matra's website even after you graduate from college. So wherever you need any kind of revision or reference or practice, just log into your account and pick up from where you left. And never forget,
बस एक बात हमेशा याद रखना, मुश्किल नहीं, नामुमकिन नहीं.
So by now, at the end of the online classroom lectures at Matra and your fantastic participation, it should be mushkil nahi or namumkin nahi. All right. I hope you have learned a lot. enjoyed what you have learned, and also now know that it is not difficult. Just a little bit of effort, just a little bit of time, and a little bit of practice, you will be fluent in English in no time. For those of you who have technical issues, as ma'am mentioned, please don't worry, issue will be resolved. You will reach week 6 on the portal. If there are constant issues, please send an email to tech support with the correct screenshots and your details. On behalf of the Matra team, I want to thank each and every one of you for a very enriching 6 weeks that we spent with you. I'm grateful, and we are grateful to AKU, your college faculty coordinators, and most importantly, all of you students. Please send us your messages and appreciation on email with your social media handle, and we will feature you on our pages and tag you. It is our small way to thank you for being part of Matra Super Plus. There will be another thank you card there for you on Wednesday when we complete all the online lectures for AKU. We hope that you've been able to learn more and more with Matra, and I'm really going to miss you. So I wish all the very best for you guys. Once again, you have been an awesome batch, and you've been amazing students. Thank you so much, and goodbye.